Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Are you ready?
Are you ready for this? Are you having the time of your life?
I am.
I need a break now.
Oh, but
I will go where the bullets rip.
I've had the time of my life.
Is that okay? We're singing completely different songs.
I'm in dirty dancing phase, and you're in.
Welcome to What's on Tap podcast. I'm your host Martin.
I'm Stefan.
He's also a host, in case you didn't know.
Yes.
We have brought two beers, one each this time.
Yes, we have from different parts of the world. I guess both European in nature.
Yeah.
But I have something from a new brewery that has just been introduced to the larger European market, I would say.
Yes, they used to be only located in their country.
Right. Which is Poland?
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic?
The first time I ever had them was Czech Republic.
Yeah, so they're from Klabuki, Czech Republic.
Sure.
That's what we're going with. But they have been recently available at a couple of bars here in Malmo. And so I thought, when I saw they had a variety of beer, also at Systembolaget, but I did not get this from Systembolaget or from the local bars here, but from an online shop. And this is the Zichovec Nectar of Happiness 17.
Yes, the brewery is Rodiny Pivovar Zichovec. I think Zichovec might be a town, and Rodiny might be the name. I don't know. Now the brewery is probably called Zichovec.
I think it's called Zichovec, yeah.
It's just a brewery name that's Rodiny Pivovar Zichovec.
Well, to be fair, I don't understand.
Czech.
I think Zichovec may be the street that it's on, because it is Zichovec 46. But the town looks to be Klabuki.
Sure.
But I'm not really good with
but someone
Czech addresses, so
someone will write in,
yes.
And we will know.
Yes.
I've been a fan of this brewery for a while. Before COVID, in 2019,
Okay.
I went to Prague, and at one of the luxury beer bars, the craft beer bars. There are a few, but they are few. I had a flight of 6 Zichovec beers.
Okay.
And they were completely new to me there.
Okay. I've never heard of them before until they showed up a few weeks ago in the global or in the European market. So I always enjoy a new brewery and to try their wares, and I figure that they've made such a huge splash that they must be drinkable at least. Because I think there's about at least 6 of their beers available in different forms or areas.
I think so. So here in Malmö, Beer Ditch has gotten a lot of them. They've kind of changed one tap to have Zichovec beers now for a while.
Oh, nice.
With sours and IPAs.
Okay, well that's really good. So we have one of their IPAs. This is a Newland IPA. It comes in at a 7% ABV. And that's all I can tell you, because I don't know Czech. But
I will see if the hops are available on the interwebs.
It smells really nice. It's kind of fruit forward, a little tropically. Looks really good. It's more of a lighter side, kind of in the lemon drop area.
Definitely.
And not the kind of darker things we see sometimes.
The description is in Czech.
Oh, did they remove the translation from the details?
Yes.
Oh.
We can get no translations.
Yeah, Untapped has quote unquote improved their interface, which quote unquote has made it suck more.
Yeah, many features have stopped working or been removed, or they work sometimes. But there There are 3 words here that I understand. Ananasu,
With pineapple,
melunu,
melon,
manga.
Mango. Manga, like
probably
Japanese comics?
Sure, that's what
Okay.
it tastes like. I think it's mango.
I would guess as well.
Yeah, that's all we know. Smells a little bit fruity, a little bit
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite nice.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's quite pleasant.
It's a nice one.
It's not as forward as a lot of New England IPAs have been that we've tried. It's, I would say, a little on the slight side. Mouthfeel is okay. The flavors are okay, but it's not really like wow. It's more of a mid-level kind of New England IPA.
I agree. Maybe we could say maybe it's a beginner's New England IPA.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like a first time out. It's like a slightly bitter aftertaste, but not enough to make it kind of like a flavor profile. It's more like a stumbled backwards into it kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's some good kind of pale ale flavors in there. When I say that, kind of like a tea-ish kind of flavor. It's quite nice. But it's just...
I definitely agree with
just
the
kind
tea.
of missing on a lot of levels.
Yeah, I do agree with the tea flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a lot of these.
Yeah.
It's a beer that doesn't really lend to big explanations of words and flavors and dimensions. It's quite one note.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very drinkable beer. Unfortunately, it's not something that you want to come back to. It's like, I've tried it, it wasn't bad, moving on kind of beer.
Yeah. I find myself comparing it to some other one-note beers. It feels, it's a shame to say, but a beer I actually like from Systembolaget is 2 öl #NEIPA.
Oh, that's a really good, yeah.
I put that as a 4,
Mm-hmm.
but it is very one note.
Oh, yeah.
It does one thing and one thing only, and this kind of is the same.
But it does it really, really well.
It does it well enough to get a 4.
Mm-hmm. Which is a very high mark.
Yeah, I mentioned it because I had it yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm drinking this one. They're not that dissimilar in one-notedness.
Okay.
So, just by tasting this and comparing it to that beer that I gave a 4, I would have to give this a 3.5 or even a 3.75. They're that close to each other in... They do one thing. This one does pineapple and that's pretty much it. The #NEIPA does malty, sweet, double IPA.
Mm-hmm.
It does it. That's what it does.
Right, but I think the difference is, I think the water profile and the mouthfeel is much stronger in the total beer. I think this could be a 4 if the water profile was better and the carbonation, I think, was better.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm saying that this cannot be a 4 because it is not as good as the 4 beer I had yesterday.
Yeah. No,
But it's kind of close.
At the top, for me, at top, this is a 3.5 at best.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start ticking off points from there.
Yeah. The flavor doesn't really linger, so I'll give it a 3.5 now.
Yeah.
And then...
I think I'm going to go with, a 3.25.
Yeah.
It's good. It's perfectly drinkable. I think the Czech market is still tiptoeing into the craft beer scene in a lot of ways. Sure, I mean they are one of the progenitor companies or countries of beer brewing parlance.
If you're a traditionalist,
right? I mean, Czech lagers are amazing overall.
Yeah.
Just like many German lagers are just outstanding. I think Polish, right there with lagers, great. Those three countries in particular, still like in the shallow end of the pool when it comes to the craft beer movement. I think Germany's, of course, they're doing really good strides these days. They've really made up for lost time. Poland's starting to catch up. Czech Republic, give it another couple of years, and they'll be doing some really, really great stuff.
I do want to give you the tip, both you, Stefan, and our listeners, to search out sour beers from this brewery.
Okay.
Because I've found, I semi-checked before we started recording, and I gave the sour beers way higher averages than the IPAs.
All right. Well, that's a good note for the future.
And if you're in Malmö, Beer Ditch is a good place to start looking, because they've had this brewery on for a long time in different kegs.
All right. I did not realize that, but I will keep an eye on it as well.
Yeah.
I've only seen them at Bishop's Arms, Gustavstorp.
I might have missed them there.
Well, I was there Sunday and they had one
Nice.
tap.
Nice.
Okay, so next we have Evil Twin, Aún Más Todo Jesus, a malt beverage with cinnamon, cocoa nibs, chili peppers, coffee beans added, 12% ABV.
And this one is from 2019, and I brought it specifically because you had no rating on it. We've been talking about this, and there are so many of these Evil Twin Jesus beers, even more Jesus, all kind of variations on the words.
Yeah.
And this is Aún Más Todo Jesus, the kind of South American version, where coffee and chili peppers.
Yes.
Really.
Brewed in Spain.
It's brewed in Spain. We were talking about this earlier before we started recording, where Evil Twin New York, they brew at an Evil Twin New York location or with their friends nearby. But the European brand, the Evil Twin Brewing, they brew a lot of beers at the Proof Brewery in Belgium. But when you say Spain, I have no idea where they've brewed it.
Cerveza del Montseny. San Miquel de Ballena.
I believe you.
Barcelona, Spain.
Sure.
Barcelona.
So let's see if this one still has some chili peppers and coffee and cinnamon.
It smells very much coffee and chili peppers, like dry roasted chili peppers.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Yeah, very
Cheers.
good. Cheers. Really rich roasted malts notes up front.
Yeah.
Slightly bitter, a little bit licoricey finish.
The mouthfeel is a little bit watery, more watery than I expected for 12%.
However, a lot of the adjuncts have really gone to sleep at this point.
Yes.
They have they're lying with the fishes.
Yeah. Chili, no, that one.
Chilies, no. Cinnamon, surprisingly, not really there. Cocoa nibs, kind of. I think the coffee is propped up by the hard roasting of the malts. So it gives you that natural, bitter kind of coffee flavor.
It's like a coffee that has been cold for too long.
I mean, there's a certain sweetness to it, which is kind of nice. It's very, we'll say, palatable.
Yeah, I think the sweetness is what saves it from being a complete belly splash.
Yeah, this goes back to how I've been changing my opinion of stouts recently, which is don't sleep on them. Just
Yeah.
drink them in the first 6 months that you get them. Because the longer they sit, the less you're going to get out of them, especially super adjunct heavy beers. Go ahead and open those bad boys up and get what you're supposed to get out of them.
Exactly. And with this particular beer, it's a case of I've already had this one, and our friends have had it.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of sitting in a shelf, just waiting for you, actually. But every time we record, I find something I want to drink more. And today I was like, no, this time we need to rip this Band-Aid. It might be too old. That's okay. Stefan gets to try a beer. You might have had it, but you never registered it in.
I know I bought a couple of these Aún Más Todo Jesus beers years ago.
But they had a lot of port barrel aging and bourbon barrel aging, and
I used to not be the best at ticking beers. I've gotten better or worse depending on how you qualify that statement. I'm more regular about ticking things that I try, whereas in the past I would be more passive. Like if I felt like it, I would tick it. If my phone was nearby, I would tick it.
Yes, but I've seen you get more and more into the case of you want to know if you've had something before.
Yeah,
you want to follow your beer journey.
Yes.
In more detail.
Yes, past me was rather
blasé
about this whole event.
Which is fine. I mean, I don't judge people who drink beer just because it's tasty. But I also find these people going like, I don't know if I've had this, and that's not a problem. And they go, I know I've had this. Did you like it? I don't remember. That's the saddest part.
Well, for me, it could be like I have a pretty good memory. If I've had a beer before, I can kind of remember if I liked it or didn't like it, no matter how many years ago I've had it. There are cases where, we're at a beer tasting or at an event, and I've tried a lot of beers at one time. I can't guarantee that I remember I've had that beer at that point. But I tend to remember a lot of the beers I've tried, whether I like them or not, especially the really good ones and the really, really bad ones.
Yeah.
It's the ones that fall in the middle ground, that 3 to 3.5 kind of area that you're kind of like...
Quite forgettable.
Did I like that? Did I even have that? So there's been a couple of times I'm like, I've never had that before, and then I buy it, and I'm like, oh no, I've had it a couple of times actually.
Yes, and then there are beers with outrageous names or labels that you remember having. You might not remember if you like them. But the Zichovec Nectar of Happiness, all of their labels kind of look the same. Mm-hmm. All of their names are kind of abstract words. Nectar of Happiness.
And there's a number involved.
There are a lot of numbers. I think the number is beer weight by Plato degrees.
Obviously.
Which is such a big thing in the Czech Republic. I think a little bit in Poland and maybe even in Germany.
It's definitely an Eastern European thing.
But when you see like a 17% beer, it might be 5-6% ABV. Weighing alcohol by degrees Plato is a very outdated way of going.
Yeah. So I'm going to give this, I think, 3.5.
Yeah.
It's good. I think the base beer is perfectly enjoyable. Aftertaste really nice. All the adjuncts are completely missing. It's not aging out well.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 3.75.
Ah, very nice.
I've always liked coffee beers more than many of my beer friends.
I love coffee beers. I think coffee beers are really, really good, but I think if it had had just one of the other flavors, particularly chili peppers, I probably would have given it a 3.75.
Yeah. And when we see these ingredients, I think both you and I think about Prairie Bomb.
Oh, it is legitimately a Prairie Bomb clone. There is no two ways around this.
But it's failing to be a Prairie Bomb.
Prairie ages pretty well, I will say.
Yeah.
It actually holds up for 3 to 4 year aging pretty well.
The Prairie Bomb specifically is way thicker in the mouthfeel than this. This is quite watery in comparison.
Yeah.
I think they're similar in ABV, similar in adjuncts or ingredients. Let's not say adjuncts. But it's just since it's so much thicker, I think it holds up better.
Yeah, I have to agree. All right, you can find us online at what'sontappodcast.com, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you can find quality podcasts.
And until then,
keep drinking, you dum-dums.
Yeah, do it.